Tonight, 15 COVID-19 related deaths recorded yesterday, taking the death toll to 646, while 204 new cases of the virus were recorded. Primary school teacher Natalie Dawkins, who had been missing for several days, has been found dead. Still tonight, steps being taken to address the recurring burning of the fire in the morass in the tourist town of Negril.
We have brought it to the government and to Nepal, and through the UN they have embarked on this IWECO project, which will hopefully solve the problem that we're having with the fires, among other things.
And members assigned to CTOC seized illegal cooking gas valued at $5 million at Hellshire Road in Portmore, St. Catherine earlier today.
One man, one Jamaican male, has been taken into custody and he will be charged for breaches of the Trademark Act. And also to note that whilst conducting this operation, discovered an illegal GPS connection, and that was also disconnected.
The primary school teacher, Natalie Dawkins, who had been missing for several days, has been found dead. Reports are that the body of the teacher was found in the Sandy Bay area of Clarendon in an advanced state of decomposition.
Unfortunately, this morning, during an operation in the Sandy Bay area of Clarendon, and based on information received by the police, a decomposed body of a female, which we believe is that of Miss Natalie Dawkins, was discovered. The scene is now being processed, and we hope that during the processing we will get valuable evidential material that will assist us with the investigation. We are convinced, based on our investigation, that Jeffrey Bedward, who was fatally shot by the police, was at Miss Dawkins' residence within the same period when she went missing, after 11 on the 30th of March 2021. And we are also confident that he was in the area where the skeleton remains of what were discovered. We are confident also that we will get to the bottom, the motive for the killing of Miss Dawkins. We are confident that we will get to that.
We will bring you more on this story in subsequent newscasts. As we continue with the news tonight, following the spate of violence against women, leader of the opposition, Mark Golding, has expressed concerns over what he says is increasing lawlessness in the country. Mr. Golding cited victims such as Clarendon teacher Natalie Dawkins, who was missing and has been found dead, and 50-year-old Millicent Robinson, whose body was recently found in a shallow grave at her home in his own constituency, saying such incidents have deepened the sense of vulnerability among women, demoralizing the entire population. And there is now general despair and widespread outrage that not enough is being done by the state either to protect women or to empower them to protect themselves. He further stated that domestic violence is increasing against women and children, aggravated by the economic crisis facing many households. Mr. Golding said the People's National Party, PNP, is repeating its call for the government to significantly expand assistance targeted at rural and inner-city poverty, especially households headed by single women, and also that it is willing to join in a national response to the unraveling crime situation in the country. Jamaica recorded 15 COVID-19 related deaths yesterday, taking the island's death toll now to 646, while 204 new cases of the virus were recorded. There are now 41,604 confirmed cases, of which 22,103 are active. Now, according to the Ministry of Health and Wellness, 3 of the deaths, a 57-year-old man from Kingston and St. Andrew, a 68-year-old man from Trelawney, and an 82-year-old man from Westmoreland, were previously listed as under investigation. The other persons that died are a 60-year-old man from St. Catherine, an 82-year-old woman from Hanover, an 85-year-old man from St. Elizabeth, a 44-year-old male from St. Anne. 2 deaths were recorded in Portland, a 72-year-old man and a 72-year-old woman. 3 of the deaths were recorded in St. Thomas, of 2 women aged 44 and 82 years and a 63-year-old male, while 2 women aged 41 and 74 years and a 72-year-old man, all from Kingston and St. Andrew, also died. Now, of the 204 new cases, there were 99 females and 105 males, ranging in age from 2 to 97 years. The cases were recorded in Kingston and St. Andrew with 58 cases, St. James recorded 36 cases, St. Catherine 28, St. Anne 16 cases, Clarendon recorded 13 cases, St. Mary 12, St. Elizabeth 9, St. Thomas and Westmoreland recorded 8 cases each, Trelawney recorded 7 cases, Hanover 4, Manchester 3 and Portland 2. The island also recorded 122 recoveries, taking the total of recovered persons now to 18,566. In the meantime, the Vaccination Portal opened at 10 o'clock this morning for those in select categories who wish to schedule appointments to be vaccinated in the All-Island Blitz this weekend. These include persons 60 years and older, staff members from the Department of Correctional Services, Jamaica Fire Brigade, Passport, Immigration and Citizenship Agency PICA, Jamaica Customs, tourism workers, teachers, and other employees of educational institutions. Persons 60 years and older should register using the online portal on the Ministry of Health and Wellness's website at www.moh.gov.jm or by calling the National Vaccination Hotline at 888-1-LOVE. That's 888-663-5683. Members of the other priority groups will be registered through their respective organizations. According to Minister of Health and Wellness, Dr. Christopher Tufton, the priority groups have been expanded to include the older population 60 years and over, as Jamaica is set to receive 75,000 doses of the AstraZeneca vaccine. Now, once an appointment is confirmed, the ministry is reminding those scheduled to arrive at the vaccination location 15 minutes before their appointment. Persons are being asked to take along a government-issued ID or a letter from a justice of the peace to verify their age. In news from Westmoreland now, residents of the Little Bay community are refuting claims made by a Canadian-based organization that girls as young as 7 years of age in a community in the parish are allegedly being serially molested by predators, killed, and dumped into the sea there. A Canadian-based organization has called for the Jamaican authorities to open an investigation into those claims. According to Uzazi Foundation, a Canadian incorporated non-profit organization, the allegations were brought to its attention in October of last year. This after a 14-year-old high school student whom it sponsors fell into the hands of individuals who drugged her, held her captive and raped her for days before carrying her to a remote location where arrangements were made for her to be taken out to sea and drowned. The child, however, was reportedly found during a community search. A suspect has since been arrested and is currently before the courts. Now, our news team visited the area and spoke with residents. One resident who lived in the community for over 60 years said that she is unaware of any such incidents.
For nothing like that don't happen in this area because we have regular check from the police and the soldier. And this is a peaceful area, so nothing like that. We don't have no rape in a little bit. Everybody protect everybody. If a man them see a girl, them a go out of the way, them a go talk to them or tell them parents. So not like that. We don't have no raper down here. Any raper come in here, it must be a stranger. And that can happen over few gentlemen them in here.
Thrown over a cliff.
Over cliffs?
You know of that?
No, no.
Or
nothing like that. No, must be another area, not in Little Bay.
Okay.
Not in Westmoreland, Little Bay, because they have another Little Bay, but not down here. So we show our government can find who put that on whatever social media and give him a hard time. We need to check out that, because nothing like that. Big rumor. Spoil up our decent community.
Another resident, Gregory Robinson, 51, who has been living in the community since he was 12 years old, said that the claims are far from the truth, as residents would not have tolerated such an incident if it happened.
Well, right now, I really feel bad about it, I really feel bad about it because for many years I live here. I never hear of anything like that. So I really feel bad about it. And I really know, I don't understand the problem why somebody would bring up that kind of rumor towards the Kabir. That I've been living here from darkness, from before road, current, all that kind of stuff before even the community developed. I've been living here. And I never see anything like that. So I don't understand why somebody could do something like that. So I know them try to bring a rumor about the community where it's not right. You know what I mean? We have policemen pass here, we have soldier pass here, we have good citizens of Little Bay here. I'm a good citizen too, It's a family community. So I don't really understand why somebody would have really come out with a rumor like that towards our community from Little Bay. If you notice right now, you could just look on all many of the houses them on the street side of Little Bay. It's just a small little development, But it's nice, it's really nice. I think it's more than maybe if I put it this way, I think it's more than 300. Whether family, friends or not, we all protect one another here. We all look over one another here. You can go over next man's yard. I do anything, I steal anything. We don't put up with that. We're a very, very strict man in the community, and we're a very, very loving man in the community. We don't put up with foolish.
Now, Mr. Robinson also said that they would welcome an investigation because they are sure these incidents are not taking place in the small community.
Because as long as there is no wrong that's going on here, I would like them come here and investigate more people, to know how much the community is so nice, and the kind of people that live in here, maybe some of them, they don't have to be rich or anything like that, but we live very nice, and we are fishermen, and we do farming, we raise goat and all that kind of stuff. So, we try to keep our things very, very normal. It's a fishing village, we raise goat, we raise cow, we do what we can do just to survive, and we keep the environment in the district very, very nice. We don't try to make anybody come here and come ruin it, or try to keep up any kind of foolish with stranger or anyone that living here or coming here. I'm not going to hide it from you. I'm citizen of Little Bay and a property owner. And I'm not hiding it. And that kind of foolishness can tolerate here. There is no way.
We will bring you more on this story in subsequent newscasts. We go now to news from St. Catherine. A man who allegedly stabbed his girlfriend several times and then attempted to set her ablaze in the parish late last month has been charged with major offences stemming from that incident. Karen Chambers, a 41-year-old ambulance driver from Ansem City, has been charged with wounding with intent and attempted murder. Reports coming into our news center tonight are that on the night of March 29, Chambers and his girlfriend, who is a nurse and also reportedly his child's mother, had an argument during which he accused her of being unfaithful to him. The dispute that occurred at the woman's workplace at the Spanish Town Infirmary then escalated. An enraged Chambers allegedly stabbed her several times and poured gasoline on her. He was, however, accosted by employees at the infirmary before he could set her ablaze. He was later handed over to the police while the nurse was rushed to the hospital where she was admitted for treatment. We will bring you updates on this story in a follow-up report. In other news tonight, the police have arrested and charged a man heard threatening a woman in a viral telephone conversation on March 30. Charged with malicious communication and preventing a person from buying or selling is 46-year-old Peter May, a farmer of Heartlands District. Reports coming into our news center are that at approximately 8:20 p.m., May called the complainant, who is a vendor at the Otrius market, and made several threats to kill her. Now the complainant became fearful for her life and, as a result, stopped going to the market. Now the police got wind of the situation and conducted a swift and detailed investigation, which resulted in the woman being located and May being arrested on Saturday, April 2. He was subsequently charged yesterday, April 7. His court date is being finalized. Following the burning of morass in the resort town of Negril, which started on Saturday and burned through to Sunday, President of the Negril Chamber of Commerce, Richard Wallace, says that following contacts made to several agencies, the United Nations has now embarked on the IWECO project. This project will help to solve the issue of fire in the morass.
This has been going on for some time, and the steps that we have taken as stakeholders, we have brought it to the government and to NEPA, and through the UN they have embarked on this IWECO project, which will hopefully solve the problem that we're having with the fires, among other things, because there are many facets to the IWECO project. And I would refer you to the experts in that field to get more information from them and more insight into what the project entails and how it will benefit. So the best solution I see, based on the knowledge that I have and what I have been told, it's the IWECO project. That is what we need to. That is what we see as the most immediate solution to it. So we believe that's a good solution. That's a solid solution. That's using natural remedies, which will hopefully get us back to where we were originally.
Mr. Wallace also said that he is of the view that draining of the morass contributed to not just fire, but indigenous animals and plants being left to struggle for their survival.
What happened in the past, some decades ago, was that the morass was drained, and there were some canals that were installed in the morass that took the water from out of it and put it in the Negril River. There are two rivers in Negril, one to the south, one to the north, and that caused the water level in the morass to fall. I remember back in the day as a child, the amount of crabs that you would see during crab season. It was crazy. There were thousands and thousands of crabs running across the boulevard and up and down in the morass. And of late, you hardly see any. And I believe that's part of the issue. The morass has been dried out, and so it's a lot of the indigenous animals and plants that thrive in the morass are struggling to survive now. So That's my personal view. That's not a scientific view. I want to make sure that's understood. I stand corrected if that's not the case. But you know, it is an environmental disaster. What's happening? The fires that happen every year, and we're hoping that something will be done pretty soon.
The Negril Chamber of Commerce's president also pointed out that prospective visitors to the island cancelled their trips due to a video of the fire in the morass.
The closest thing that I've gotten to a complaint from, I guess, is that somebody posted photos of the morass on fire, and somebody overseas saw it. Somebody who had a pending arrival to Jamaica, and they expressed concern. So they did not cancel. As far as I know, they did not cancel. They're still coming to Jamaica, but they expressed concern about the fire and the effects of it on the resort, because it does look really ominous when you see the photos. It's huge clouds of smoke and flames flashing in the air, and it's kind of scary. It is scary. So people looking at it would tend to become frightened. But we know that usually it burns out inside the morass, and it's fine within a few hours, or most times a couple of days.
Acting chairperson for the Negril Coral Reef Preservation Society, Lenbert Williams, in speaking with our news team, explained that dams that were to be built to support the regulation of water in the morass were never built, hence the possibility of continuing fires.
These canals are really not canals. I mean, they're not rivers, the south and the north. They're really man-made canal. One of them, I think, is 6 miles all the way up to Sheffield. And they drain the wetland and they dry it out. But they envisage down the road severe drying and fire. So my great-granduncle told me that they build hydraulic dams at both ends of the river to regulate the flow of the water, so that when it get too dry, they would lock it off, and when it get too wet, they would open it. Now, those dams were never built. So we now want to work with NEPA and all the regulators to see if we can put these regulatory dams to at least improve. We may not be able to offer the cure, but we can offer significant improvement. And the IWECA project, is that what it's called? It's a very great project, beautiful detail. I've looked at the technicalities of it, and trust me, the study is very, very good. I must take my hat off to NEPA and the funding agency, but we don't want this to be another study. We want this to be implemented, because the rate at which these fires are burning, any day now, you could have a fire that Jamaica does not have the capacity to put out, and it could completely choke off the tourist industry.
Mr. Williams further explained that marine life is almost dead in the ocean in that area as a result of the integrity of the wetland.
Our fish stock have been significantly eroded. I can tell you, I know people with them dive shop, and them say 40 years ago when tourists used to come to Negril for the dive experience. Right now, many of these people have a lock shop. There's hardly anything to see. Marine life is completely almost dead in the ocean. And it is as a result of the lack of integrity of the wetland. So we need, and I never even wanted to say this, but I mean, secondary treated sewage system is legal in this country. What this means is you can treat the sewage and remove the bacteria and then dump the nutrients into the canal. And this is what happening to not so much of a large extent, but it is something that we need to fix. And I want to challenge the naysayers and the agitators that there's a little black man up on NEPA that named Mr. Knight. He has good intent for this place. But every time he comes to Negril and try to fix it, I don't know what happened. You have some people start to lick him for some things that take place in the past and for all kind of thing. But I want to say this, that Mr. Knight, in this guy, Lenbert Williams and Richard Wallace and Keisha Spence and the other people, we're ready to accommodate you. the Planning Institute of Jamaica. We want you all to come back because we love you and we have some great projects down here. And these stakeholders are passionate about the preservation of the environment. And we want you to come back in, come open shop.
Mr. Letman, a fisherman that has been catching fish for over 20 years, pointed out that there has been a great reduction in his catch recently.
Well, the catch for over the 20 odd years, when we just be in Negril and catching fish, whoa, I don't complain. Don't complain. Yeah.
So you used to catch big, you used to have a heavy load coming?
Yes, at all time. Yeah.
And when we say heavy load, we're looking at like about what? What type load?
50 pound, 100 pound.
A fish?
All type of fish.
And that's where you would fish? Out at sea?
Just right outside here, see the way.
Okay, and the sea?
Yeah.
Okay. And what it is like now? What you're bringing in now?
It gone way back. Gone way back. The fishing industry gone way back.
And is it the fish them get smaller now?
A lot too. Depends.
Tell me what size fish you catch now.
Like half pound size, 1 pound, 2 pound, 3 pound, go up. Yeah.
But back in the days you used to catch?
Bigger one. All 20 odd pounds.
In other news tonight, members assigned to the Counter-Terrorism and Organized Crime Investigations Branch CTOC seized illegal cooking gas valued at $5 million at the Hellshire Road in Portmore, St. Catherine earlier today. Director of the Property Rights Unit in CTOC, Assistant Superintendent Victor Barrett, explained that there are 2 welding shops adjacent to the establishment, which pose a grave risk since LPG is a flammable substance.
We are here this morning at number 2 Hellshire Road, where an illegal cooking gas operation was discovered, and this operator is selling cooking gas known as LPG, liquefied petroleum gas, which is a thin form of gas. It is flammable and it's easy to ignite. And I say this alongside the background that at this premises there are 2 welding shops operating around the back and to the side of this premises where the gas are being sold. This in itself is a risky operation because one little sparkle from the welding plant could ignite the whole compound, because this type of gas is very thin and, as I indicated before, is flammable. So here I just want to warn our citizens that, whilst it is your right to purchase cooking gas from whomever, I would want to recommend that you purchase cooking gas from trusted sources, because you don't know what you're really taking into your house, what you're taking into your facility.
In finding this illegal operation, ASP Barrett further appealed to citizens that these illegal businesses pose a danger.
We also discovered here a large quantity of caps, blue caps, yellow cap, different colors, and these caps or seals indicates to the customer that the cylinder has been filled at an approved plant. So at this location, when they do the illegal filling, then they use a seal to seal the cylinders, and then now deceives the buyer that this product has met all the safety requirements, which in fact has not. So I just want to appeal to you, that our citizens, that it is very dangerous, it is harmful to businesses that are existing in close proximity. And I just want to jog your memory back to 2016, when there was an explosion in Mountain View where persons died and several persons received stage 3 burns. So you can just imagine if something like that should happen here, then it would be a catastrophe.
He also pointed out that an illegal Jamaica Public Service JPS power connection was found and 1 man was taken into custody.
1 man, 1 Jamaican male, has been taken into custody, and he will be charged for breaches of the Trademark Act. And also to note that whilst conducting this operation, we discovered an illegal GPS connection, and that was also disconnected. So he will be charged for that as well. So we continue our investigation with a view to make more arrests in the near future.
And those are some of the stories making news. We will return with other stories as 8 judges were yesterday appointed to serve in the Supreme Court and the Court of Appeal for the Easter term. And Chief Justice Brian Sykes has expressed dismay at what he has described as an adjournment culture in the Supreme Court. But first, we're going to go to a break, and then it's over to Christopher Scott with the very latest in sports.